Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video we're going to talk about another modifying toolbar, trim command, which will be used a lot in AutoCAD. One of the most commonly used icon is trim. Now trim basically, it's the idea, it's not delete. I want you to differentiate between delete and trim. The easy way to remember it's if, let's say I have a beard and I'm going to barber. If I shave it, means that I'm deleting all the beard. But we not say shaving, we'll say trimming. Trimming basically, they will cut the excess part, will make it nice. Remember it in this way, trim it. You're not gonna delete the whole object, you're going to just trim the excess part to make it nicer. Remember, in AutoCAD you will have a lot of excess parts. Now remember, let's say that you're drawing two lines, those two parts, you just want to trim them, make it like this. Or you're drawing lines, excess line, circle, and you simply want to trim the rest of them, bring it here. Look at the red part, you can just trim them. It's not delete. Delete goes by the object. This is combined of three objects, two line, one circle. If you try to delete the circle, whole circle will be deleted. If you try to delete this line, whole line will be deleted. So we're not using delete, we call trim. That will help us to do a lot of things in AutoCAD. Now we're going to talk about this example here to see how we're using trim for those purposes. Now let's do some practice. Randomly I'm drawing some line. There is a line here, there is another line here. Let's say I'm drawing a circle, drawing an arc, let's say having another line here. When we're talking about trim, now look, this is one object. Trim basically, it's going to use a scissor, cut somewhere and delete the part you don't want it. Now let's say that we have a case like this, yes? Let's say I'm trying to, this part of this line here, I don't like it. I don't like this part, I wanna delete this part. It's not a delete, because if I delete, the whole object will be deleted, the whole line. So we call this one trim. I want to trim this part here. Well, in order to do that, this is in the modifying toolbar. You have above fillet, which we explained. We have these two, trim and extend. Both of them are working together, are similar, reverse of each other. So make sure you click on trim. Now, there is a way to explain trim in detail, but I'm going to show you a fast way. When you activate trim, the first thing AutoCAD is asking you is select objects. Now, I need you to keep this one for later when we used to a lot of other commands, understand what's going on. I might explain what is the first step required. Now for now, when it asks select object, do not select anything, just press enter. Look, I hit enter, then it will ask you what? Select object to trim. This time you can just hover the mouse over it. Look, you see that if I clicked here, this will be trim. If I come here, this will be trim. Even here, for example. But what will it do? It will try to trim up to here, yes, up to here. This is why in the first time I said press enter, because they called boundary. We're going to talk about the boundary later, why we have to press enter or when we don't have to press enter. So we can talk about that boundaries later. But for now, the easy way to use trim, I pressed escape, I'll click on trim. The first thing, I will hit enter. I'm not gonna select any boundaries. I will hit enter. Now, then I will go, which part I don't want it, I can just hover the mouse over it and click here. I will delete it. Look, I'll trim this part, I'll trim this, I'll trim this, I'll trim this. Trim basically need what? Now some students say, okay, I can trim still this one. Yes. Why? I can trim this one. Remember why I can trim this part? Because this is the object. This is the object. This part can be trimmed. But after that, this cannot be. Oh, still there is a part over here, small part. Let's say this trimming this small part here. Now it's okay. Now I cannot trim this one. Why I cannot trim this one? Because this is starting from here, ends from here. I mean, you're trimming what? If you want to delete it, AutoCAD will tell you, why would you want to trim this one? Trimming means that you're deleting this object, yes? So sometimes trim does not work. If you see like this icon, which is cannot be trimmed, it means that if I press escape, this is one object. I can simply delete it. So trim will not do delete work for you. If something is going to be deleted completely, the trim command will not work. Look, if this one has an excess part here, yes, trim will work. I'll activate trim, hit enter. Now whether I can trim this side or the other side. If I trim this side, but this one no longer will be trimmed. Why? Because it's an object. Look, even if I try to trim this one, it cannot work. So you know why? Because this is one object. AutoCAD is telling you, why would you want to trim this one if you can just simply delete it? Remember, this is how trim works. Look, I can trim this one. Why? Because from here till here will be trimmed, or in this manner, or even the circle here. Why? It will start from this point till this point. It's going to trim this side for us, or even we can bring it here. If I click here, what will happen? It will start from here till here. It will trim the rest of the circle for me. This arc is the same. Why? Because the arc is completely from here till here is one arc. So if I use that, if I come over it, look, I can trim this one, or I can trim this part here. For this line, I cannot trim it. Why? Because there is nowhere to be trimmed. From here till here, it's the whole line. So there is nowhere to be trimmed unless I will delete it. So basically, trim will be used to cut excess part of the drawing. Look, those excess part, I can activate trim. First, hit enter to not have any problem in the beginning. I mean, since you are a beginner, just hit enter for the first time, then try to select the part that you wanna trim them like this. So trim will be used in many more cases. Now let's say if I bring this object here. Now you look at this one, you look at this shape, you feel that it's very hard. Yes, it's very hard, but I'm going to show it to you how trim. I mean, you see that there is an arc here. Yes, those are all of them arc. Yes, I have one arc here, 2, 3, 4 arc. I have it. How can I do those arc? Okay, I have a center here, but center and radius for arc is not possible. Now this has to come to your mind that writing something on the board again, that we can use trim for what? Do you remember we had tan circle? So I say plus trim will give me what? Will give me tan. So there's tan radius. Tan radius circle with trim is going to give me tan radius arc. Remember this, please. Tan circle with trim is going to give me tan arc. Tan radius arc. So it means that I can use all the commands for circle in order to draw arc. Not just tan radius, I can even use tan circle plus trim will give me what? It turns to arc. What does that mean? What does that mean? If I have this shape here, imagine it as what? Imagine it as like this. 4 circle, yes? Can I draw this? I can draw this part of arc with circle much easier, yes? Because I have center radius will be enough to draw this one. But with center and radius, I cannot draw this arc. I cannot draw this arc with center and radius. But I know that I can use what? I can use circle. I can use circle to draw this one like this, like the dashed line. Then I can use trim to delete this part here. That's what we call trim. Look, imagine it as a circle. Believe me, we can draw those circles much easy. Then we can, the excess part of them, we will trim it. We will get the blue shape, which basically this one would be needed. So remember again, when you saw arc, I need you to think of what? Circle plus trim. All the commands that I have it for circle, I can use them, all of them, not just tan. I wrote one of them in an example. I said tan radius plus trim will be tan radius arc. I can use any of the others and then use trim, so we can just generalize it in this manner. We generalize in this manner. We can say that circle plus trim will give you arc. This is in general manner. Circle plus trim will give you arc. So all the commands that I know from circle, I can use them to draw arc. Remember this, please. I told you in the beginning when we explained arc, I said that there are many other methods that I will teach you later. So what do we need to draw arc? We need trim command. So basically all the commands within the circle plus trim, so all of them within here with this command here, we can use them together, both of them together, in order to create new commands for arc. Let's see how does this work. We're going to do it in an example to see how we're going to do this shape. Now we have a coordinate here 100 with radius 20. I can draw a circle. Then I have a coordinate 150 with radius 30. I can draw another circle there. So let me draw it. We have a limit here. I mean, if you're going to use limit, I'm just simply using without limit. I'm going to draw a circle first with the center at 100 radius 20. Look, I'm not thinking this one as an arc. Yeah, it's an arc. It's an arc. But for me, it's easier to draw the circle because I have center, I have radius. So we'll activate center radius. For center, when you ask me specify center, I'll type 100, 100. Then the radius will be 20. Now I have the drawing, yes, but where is it? I'm going to use zoom, enter, E for extend. I'll see the circle. We said if you see it like this, no worries, it's okay. If you see this like a polygon, it's totally fine. It's just because of the resolution of the screen. You can use this command we called region all. It will turn it back to the resolution, will adjust the resolution of the screen. Now I have this circle. I'll just adjust the screen in this manner. Look, I drew what? I drew this circle. But we know that we have to trim this part later, yes? But we'll leave it now. I cannot trim it now. Why trim need two objects to touch each other. Now let's draw this one as well here. 175, 150 by radius 30. So 175, 150. I will activate again center radius. The center is 175, 150. Then the radius is 30. Okay, this is the second one, yeah, 175, 150, radius 30. We know how to draw a circle. Then, can I draw these two circles? Can I draw this one as a circle? What do we call this circle? Remember, this is tan. I have radius, yes? This is tan radius. The same thing at the top, yes? This is tan, and I have the radius. So I can draw these two with tan radius. I already know circle, yes? Can I do this one with the fillet? I can still do it with fillet, yes? I can do this one with fillet, remember? I can do this one with fillet as well. So let's do one of them with fillet, one of them with tan radius circle. So, for this one here, I will do it with fillet. Let's see if it's working. I will activate fillet. Activate fillet. How much is the radius? The radius is 30. So I'll click on the radius. I'll type 30. Then I'll click here. Yes, it did this part for me, yes? I can do the top one as well, but I'm going to use tan radius circle for the top part. Look, this is directly, it will not do a circle, it will only do the arc, because I told you that fillet is what can be used as tan radius arc, directly arc. Well, let's say I'm using another technique. We're going to use tan radius. Which one I'm going to draw? I'm going to draw the big circle, which is tangent here, the big one, which the radius of 90. Let's see what will happen. So we'll click somewhere around here, because it's going to be tangent somewhere here, tangent, then the radius is 90. Okay, we have this one there. So now we can trim the excess part of this shape to get to what we need. So what we will do, we'll activate trim. Then first thing we say, we'll hit enter. Then look, I just hover the mouse over here. This part is gone. Hover the mouse over here. This part is gone. Oh, we have to click. Hover the mouse over here. Click. This part is gone. And we have the shape, which in the beginning, if you look at it, you feel it's very hard. Why? Because you didn't know that we can use this command, we call it trim. We can draw a lot of circles here, then we can convert it back to the way it is. So remember this, please. Whenever you see arc, imagine again, you can use a circle with the trim to get to the arc. So this is what we drew. Then we're going to use the trim command in order to get to the shape by trimming the excess part. Now with this technique, we'll be able to draw a lot of other shapes. Now let's just tell you that some of the examples that I provided to you, to see that if we can use trim for those parts. Now we can draw this circle, yes, a circle, and trim it. We can draw this as a circle and trim it. I remember some student, they did this one with an arc. Let me do this one, 70. So I can even use this one fillet, yes, it's normally fillet. It's an easy to be done with fillet. But I can even use a circle and a trim command. Let's say I'm going to do this one to explain how can we use trim. So I'm going to draw this line as a corner like this up to here, and this one as well here. Then we'll draw a circle here. Then we're going to use the trim command to see that we can even use trim to get to fillet. This was a circle here, yes, a circle. So let me draw. This will be 70 by 90, because this is 20, so 90 here, 70 here. Let me draw this one to see what will happen. So I'm going to draw a line, which is 90 here, 90 like this, and 70 like this. Now, remember we can fillet this corner easily. Yes, look, I can use fillet radius to be 20, hit enter, then select this, I got this corner easily. Look how easily I got this corner by using fillet. But let's say that if I don't want to use fillet, can I use even trim to get this one? Yep, we can. But first we're going to draw tan radius circle. It's tangent here, the radius is 20. This is a circle, yes? I told you that trim, what does it do? It will do the circle, then it will trim the rest of them, yes? Now let's do it manually. If I do click on trim, I will hit enter. First I can click this part, delete it, trim this part, sorry, and then I'll trim this part. I got the same result. So fillet can give you directly the arc, tan arc, if you can do it. If it is not possible, sometimes fillet does not work, remember you have another option that you can draw a circle and you use trim, you'll get back to the arc. So do not, when you see arc as in the drawing, don't just think of arc. I need you to have this idea. Just don't think, okay, I need to do this one with arc. No. Remember, this can be done with what? It can be done with fillet, it can be with the circle and trim. Why? Because we know that those two commands as well can be used to get to the arc shapes. So this is the main idea of trim, excess parts that we will do. I'm gonna explain something else that we have them to see how this trim is helping me. I'm sure that some of the students, they use a lot of calculation in doing this example. I'm just going to show it to you how easily we can use trim now, even fillet. Sorry. I'm sure you tried this part over here, and you struggled a lot. Why? Because the line is not given. You had to go a lot of calculation. Yes, you had to do a lot of calculation here in order to find this. The angle is given 40. This is 100. This angle also given 40. Yes, it's also given 40. So I have the angles. But I don't have the length of the line. Yes. Now this also trim can be used for those purposes. I can draw more, or even fillet. So I'm going to show this one with two of them, with fillet and trim. Now I'm not going to draw all of it. I'm just going to focus on this part here. Now I'll go back to AutoCAD. Now let's say that we have a line here, and we have another line somewhere here. Now we want to draw two lines that goes with 40 angle here, and somewhere from there with 14 angle to go. Now let's say I don't know the length of the line. Yes, I can draw more than enough. Look, because I know trim, I can draw more than. Look how much the length of this line. You can see it is 75. It goes 80, 90, 92. Let's say here, it doesn't matter. I'll type around 90. I'm using the third method, which is polar coordinate. At, let's say 90 is more than enough. Yes. Then angle sine 40. Now the angle is correct, but the line is more than enough. It's okay. I'm gonna draw another line from here, this time like this. Look, again 90 here. Yes. at 90 is more than enough. Angle will be how much here? Because if this side is 40 here, then 50 plus 90 will be 140. I'll draw with 140. You know what 140 is, because if this angle here is 40, if this is 40, then we said that AutoCAD is measuring from this direction the angle, so this is the angle we will provide it. So we have 90 and 50 here, so it will be 140, because this angle AutoCAD is asking, which is the counter clockwise angle from x-axis positive. Remember this one, it's asking from x-axis positive. So we have to add, we have to put 140 positive. This is the angle we have to give it. So our 140, look, I have the two line here. I have the two line. I can just simply do what? Trim. Use trim, hit enter, click here, click here. For those who tried this one, I need to remember how much you struggled finding the line, did the calculation in order to connect them together. But with this, look, I drew extra and used trim. That's it. It was like this. I don't know the length of them is, but I know trim. I know trim. So even if I don't know the length of them, it's okay. I can draw more. For if you want to use trim, you have to draw more. You have to draw more. Well, can I use even fillet here? Let's say I draw this one something small, and this one also something small. I don't know the lengths. I drew them something like this. Now here trim does not work. Yes, trim does not work here. Why? Because what do you want to trim? What do you want to trim? I mean, trim does not work. I mean, there is no excess part. But we said that we can connect two lines together easily with one, with fillet. I'll activate fillet. I'll make sure the radius is 0. Yes, the radius is 30 here. Look, I can see it here. Radius is 30. I'll click on the radius. I'll type 0 for the radius. Then, if I click here and click here, easily it connects back together. As I told you that modifying toolbars, yes, we use them for modification, but also we use them to draw. Most of those modifying toolbars, they are lovely. If you combine them together, will give you a lot of options that makes your life much easier in engineering drawing. So this is basically one of the other way that we're using trim. If you don't know the length of the line, draw more is totally fine. Then you just simply trim it. Or we said that you can use fillet in this manner. Thanks for watching.